At age 20, I was a fat high school student who had just dropped out. I was 15K in debt and I was headed nowhere fast. Fast forward to 42, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm in my best shape, I'm making 7 figures, and I feel like I'm just getting started right now. Now, the one secret that's changed my life, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. For now, please like and subscribe to this video. Every single week, I'm going to give you tips on how to become healthier, wealthier, and become the best version of yourself. So if you're ready for that, let's go. Now, let's take it back to when I was 20 years old. At this point in time, I was pretty much headed nowhere fast. I was working a job that was actually making decent pay, but I wasn't necessarily liking it. I actually hated going to work every single day. And at this point, I was also just out of shape and just super embarrassed about my body. I'd be so embarrassed that I wouldn't even I'd go to the pool and I wouldn't even take off my shirt. I would leave my shirt on because I was so embarrassed of my body. During my days, I was playing video games, and at my nights, I was partying with my friends, getting drunk, I was smoking cigarettes, and my parents were supremely worried about me. I was living a life of pure pleasure. I had zero purpose, and even though I was having so much fun and instant gratification from getting drunk and partying, every single night I went home and wondered, is this all my life is going to be amounting to? I knew I was destined for something a little bit better. I knew I was destined for something a lot bigger, but I didn't know exactly what it was. And on top of this, I was out of shape, and I was also in a lot of credit card debt. I was spending more than I was earning, obviously, and that was putting some immense pressure and some immense stress on me. And then it happened. So one day, my friend asks me to go and play basketball with him at this open run in Toronto. Before that, in high school, I was playing basketball all the time. After I dropped out of high school, I stopped playing. I was just like partying all the time with my friends. But I loved the game of basketball, so I decided to come and join my friends. So because I was smoking and because I was just doing nothing but partying and eating like crap all day, I was running up and down the court, and I remember vividly that I felt like my lungs were gonna burst. I felt like they were gonna collapse on themselves. And I also felt like I was gonna get a heart attack. My heart was beating like crazy. I was that one dude on the court who was just like huffing and puffing up and down. And then it happened. So I remember going down, it was a fast break. I was running down the court, doing as much as I could. I was trying to go as hard as I could. And one thing that I noticed while I was doing that was I noticed a little bit of a jiggle inside of my chest. I was like, this is kind of weird. I never felt this before, but this feels like it could be a problem, either a health problem or something a lot more serious. So after the run is done and I end up taking all my stuff, saying bye to my friends, I go back to my house, and I remember this. I go to my bathroom mirror and I take off my shirt, and right after I take off my shirt, staring back at me were a pair of man boobs. And this was kind of like the man boobs where they don't look like pecs, they actually look like real boobs. Kind of like single A's or double A's or whatever sizes that they come in. Now I'm laughing about it right now, but at that time I was mortified. I cannot and could not believe that I let my body get to that level. And one of the things that I remember was being so angry at myself. How could I let things get this way? How could I let my body get here? I am just so embarrassed, and I have so much shame, even more shame around my body. And it was at that moment of time, I remember staring at myself in the mirror, and I told myself, never again. We're never gonna feel this way ever again. We're gonna do whatever is in our power possible to never feel this way ever again. And then that's when I went to work. So at that point, I hit rock bottom, and one of the really cool things about hitting rock bottom is that there really is no way to go but up. So one of the things that I did, I started going to more basketball runs. Basketball was kind of like one of the lowest hanging fruits for me when it comes to getting in shape, because it was something I enjoyed doing already. And I started to go to more runs. Actually, at that point, decided to quit smoking because of all the health complications that come along with that. I knew that if I kept on smoking past that point, there would be a point where I would have no return in terms of my health, and in terms of my lungs, in terms of my heart. So from a health perspective, and just from a wanting to be able to play basketball perspective, I decided to just give up smoking. So I ended up going to more runs. That was the first step to kind of getting back control of my body. Now, the next thing I did was I started to lift weights. I didn't start to fix my diet, because fixing my diet, that Just to let you know, I was coming from a place where I was sitting on the couch, like eating chips all day. So again, I wanted to go with the lowest hanging fruit possible, which was just going to the gym. And one of the things I remember going to the gym is that I said this to myself. I said, the worst case scenario is you go to the gym, you waste some money, and you end up seeing some hot women. The best thing that happens is you go to the gym, you get your body in shape, and you end up seeing some hot women. So I just dedicated myself to walking through the gym doors. It didn't matter what I did. I didn't ask for the perfect program. I actually remember getting bodybuilding magazines and just like copying the exercises that they were doing there. I was watching other people, how they were doing the exercises, and I was doing the exercises like them, just copying it. I did everything all wrong. And then after doing it all wrong, for about 2 weeks, one of the most craziest things happened to me. I was in the change room and I was taking my stuff, I was putting on my belt. And then when I was putting on my belt, one of the notches went in a little bit deeper. I actually went 1 notch deeper and I was like, wait, that doesn't seem right. I'm not dieting, I'm not doing anything, I'm just lifting. Like I don't see why that would happen, but I actually lost, I think it was like maybe an inch or 2 off of my waist in about, I would say 2 weeks, maybe like a month, because I was doing like basketball runs on top of that. And then after that, I got hooked. I got hooked on the results. I got hooked, I was like, how much farther can I take this? Where can I actually go with all this stuff? And after that, I worked on building disciplines around my nutrition, around my sleep. The more I kind of got into figuring out how to improve my body, the more I got really into it and really just really passionate about it, because being out of shape was my greatest pain. And if there's anything I know right now about your greatest pain, it actually is the source of kind of like your greatest journey. When you go into that pain and you start solving it, it becomes really cool. It becomes almost like a game. So once I got my body into shape, I really started to work on my finances. Now, I do believe that when you have your body in shape, your finances are another level of health. If you're always stressing about your finances, then that is another level of stress that you don't necessarily want to carry along with you. So one of the things that I did was I just made sure that I put every amount of extra money I had into paying down my debt. Now, the way I approach my credit card bill is I don't allow there to be a balance on my credit card whatsoever. Every single time that I spend on it, I pay it off immediately. This has become a habit, and this has actually been one of the greatest sources of not only de-stressing myself, not having that financial stress, but also creating really good financial habits. And then I worked on my purpose in life. I hated what I was doing when it came to work. Every single time I walked into the offices, I was just like, this fucking sucks. I need to do something different. And unfortunately, it actually came with a cost. So when I was working this corporate dead-end job, I really just felt like that was it. I really just felt like this was kind of like the extent of where my life was gonna go. But unfortunately, my mom had passed away suddenly when I was about 24 years old. During that time when she was passing, or when she had passed, I was severely depressed. I was even more lost. And one of the things that really came to me, there was actually a couple of things that came to me during that time. One of them is that this pain can either burn you down and consume you, or this can grow you. And I remember that was just one of these things that just kept on going on over and over and over in my mind. The other thing that I realized is that if life can get taken away like this, my mom was about in her 50s when she got taken away from us, then why wouldn't I go after and do something that I enjoy regardless of the risk, especially if it helps other people? So about, I would say, a year after my mom had passed, I ended up quitting the corporate life and I went into fitness. And this was at a time, almost 2 decades ago, where fitness is not like how it is right now. There was no IG. The internet was barely there. It was seen as a side hustle, as a side business. So everyone that was around me, they told me, Dan, don't do this. Why are you giving up this good paying job to go into fitness? You're doing basically like a side hustle, you're doing a side business. And to that, I really thank them, because what they were doing is they were actually building up a fire inside of me that could not necessarily be quenched. Every single time that they told me not to do it, there's something inside of me that was just gonna say, that I was saying to them and saying to myself, was like, I'm going to show you. I'm gonna show you exactly that I can be successful in this field. And the more people that told me that, which was a lot of people, the more it just built up this fire inside of me. So I left the corporate job. I went to become a personal trainer at one of the biggest chains, fitness chains in all of Canada. And within 2 years, I ended up becoming the top trainer at that gym. Afterwards, I left that gym, actually decided to own my own business, to go to people's houses and to train them as such. And then after a couple of years of doing that, I decided to open my own gym. And I owned that for about 11 years before selling it in December of 2018. And we actually grew that gym to be one of the top gyms in all of Toronto. And during that time, I've gotten into real estate investing. I've built an audience across multiple platforms. Right now, as of this recording, we have about, I think it's like almost 250K followers on Twitter. We have 108K followers on Instagram. And I just started up my LinkedIn about like 2 weeks ago. And we have like 14,000 followers there. The following and the audience is actually getting bigger, and I do feel that it's all coalescing because of the fact that I put in about 18 years of just like hard ass work into building a business, building my body, and helping others do it, that it's all kind of just like coalescing into all the success right now. So this brings me to today. Right now, I'm helping high achieving entrepreneurs transform their bodies. We work with some of the best entrepreneurs on the planet, some of the best authors on the planet. I've worked with guys like Mark Manson, Phil Jones. I've worked with the CEO of the Game Show Network, and amongst many other people. I'm not saying this to really just like impress you. I'm actually saying this to impress upon you the fact that all of this stuff that I have created, it actually started with controlling the one thing that I had control over, which was my body and the decisions that I was making with it. I say that getting your body in shape is one of the key disciplines that every single person needs to bring into their life, because it is controlling the controllable. And also, something I know about health, it not only changes the body, it changes the mind. It is the number one thing where you improve it, it actually makes every single area of your life better as a result of improving it. I say this all the time, that fitness is the number one meta habit. And this is the reason why Jeff Bezos got jacked. It's the reason why you see a lot of people taking their health into their own hands, especially like high achieving people, because they know it's a catalyst for more success. And aside from the brain benefits that you get, aside from the body benefits that you get, one of the core things about getting your health in order is the fact that it builds discipline. Being able to show up every single day to the gym, being able to show up to your diet, being able to go to sleep on times, these actually build disciplines that become roads later on into your life to become disciplined in other areas. So me being disciplined with the gym allowed me to be disciplined with the things I needed to do in my business, the things I needed to do in my finances. As I said, you can take so many lessons from just getting your body in shape and controlling the controllables, and relay that to every single area of your life. And that's it. That's my story. So if you're in your 20s and you're not necessarily where you want to be at this very moment, I just implore you to control what is and what can be controlled, which is your body. And not only are you going to be doing this to set yourself up with being a healthy version of yourself later on, you're also going to be doing this as a catalyst to all the other amazing things that you want to bring into your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and subscribe. If you haven't already, I'm going to be coming out with more videos like this every single week. And hey, if you're an entrepreneur and you're interested in getting your body in shape, building a confident body, and increasing energy, then sign up to apply for one of our coaching programs. That's about it. This wasn't about trying to get more clients. This is actually about just trying to push you in the right direction to take control of your health. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.